Prices have gone down recently, and if you're a buyer, that's great news. But interest rates are also very high right now, which is not good. So we actually have a really exciting program that we're here to talk to you about today with our special guest, Tamara Stanley from City Creek Mortgage. I'm sure y'all have seen the signs driving down the freeway. So Tamara, we're talking about the 321 program today. Can you explain to everybody, what does that mean? What is the 321 and what is it? What is this program?
Yes, of course. So everyone's excited right now that the price of housing is down right now. But the trouble is interest rates and affordability. So what we have is a 321 buy down or a 2-1 buy down or a 1-0 buy down. What that means is that for the first 2 years of your loan on a 2-1 buy down, and the first 3 years of your loan on a 3-2-1 buy down, your interest rate is actually 3% lower the first year of your loan, which means that you could potentially get a rate in the 3s right now as of today's rates.
That's so awesome.
Yes.
So
awesome.
Just to give people like an example, if today's rates right around 6 3/4 with you guys, that means if they locked in today, their first year's mortgage payment would be based off of a 3.75 interest rate.
Correct.
Second year would be a 4.75 interest rate, and the third year would be a 5.75 interest rate. Then after that, it stays permanent for the remaining 27 years
Correct.
at the 6.75 that you were potentially locked into. Right?
Yep.
Did I cover that?
That's all good. Yep. So a misconception is it is an adjustable rate loan. That's not true. So
Okay.
at the end of year 3, your rate will not increase beyond that 6.75%. So you're locked into that for the life of the loan. The beauty of that is you're probably going to refinance in the next couple of years. You're most likely not going to keep that rate for the next 27 years once that becomes 6.75. So the nice thing is all this is a monthly subsidy from the seller that goes into your escrow account. So if you refinance, all of that money gets back to you.
And this is kind of my favorite part, because traditionally it's been very common for buyers to maybe buy down their interest rate for permanent amount of the loan. We saw that a lot last year, the year before. People are buying stuff down permanently because if you do stay there for 30 years, that's usually a good call and can save you guys a lot of money. But the reason why we're not pushing that is because we know there's a really, really, really good chance that interest rates aren't going to stay this high next year at this time. And for sure 2 years from now at this time, because when recessions happen, interest rates drop. And so that would be basically a waste of money.
Correct.
If people did the permanent buy down.
Right.
But you're saying that with this buy down, if people do decide to refinance, let's say 1 year from now, rates are back into the 4s and they refinance, you're saying they get that extra money that they had to use for the buy down?
That's right. Yes. So instead of it's essentially a temporary buy down. So your interest rate is still going to be at that 6.75, but that seller is going to put that money in your escrow account for the first 3 years of your loan as a monthly subsidy. So once you refinance your loan, sell your home, pay off your loan, that money goes back to you.
And so if there's $15,000 left in there,
that goes back to you.
that is awesome.
That is such
That
a
is
good
so
program.
cool.
Yep. And the difference between, like you mentioned, Justin, a temporary rate buy down versus a permanent, a lot of misconceptions is that when you see rates that are higher as of right now, you should buy down your rate. And that's simply not true. Now, years ago, when we saw interest rates at all-time lows, that's when you would want to buy down your rate because you're probably not going to refinance again.
Yeah.
With this, you don't want to buy down your rate. You want to have the sellers pay for a temporary buy down because
Big difference there. Yeah.
even if you buy down your rate to 6.25, you're probably not going to keep that rate for a long time anyway.
That's a really, really, really good point.
Yeah.
Can anyone qualify for this?
So it is going to have some limitations as far as your down payment. So the more you put down, the more you're going to qualify for a 3-2-1 buy down versus a 1-0 buy down, essentially. Just because the more you put down, the more you're allowed to have the seller contribute.
Gotcha.
So if you have 10% down or less, you're probably going to be looking at a 2-1 buy down where your interest rate is 2% lower for the first year. 15%, 20%, beyond 20% down, you could absolutely do a 3-2-1 buy down, getting your interest rate lower for the first 3 years.
Awesome. Sounds to me like that would help a ton of people out there right now get that lower payment while rates are crazy high. So.
And the thing is, if home prices in your area have dropped $50,000 to $100,000, the reason why you're not buying is because of the interest rate.
Exactly.
So if you can fix it with this program, get the seller to pay for the buy down, it is a fantastic opportunity for you guys that are looking to move, that are needing to move, to still have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if you guys do the math, if that home last year was selling for $500,000 and now you pick it up for $450,000, that $50,000 in savings, you're going to say, well, I'm not really saving because I have a 7% interest rate. Well, what if you only had a 3% interest rate for the first year and then rates went all the way back down to 4 because we're in a recession? Now you're going to be super happy that you bought that house because you're going to refinance.
Yes.
And now you just saved $50,000 off the price, which from the difference between $450,000 to $500,000, that $50,000 worth of extra payments over time is going to take you a long time
Yeah.
to make up that difference. So a lot of times it's better to buy cheap and pay a little bit higher than it is to buy at the top and have the lower rate. So we'll probably do the math on another episode.
Yeah,
for people
absolutely.
on that,
Yeah.
which I think would be pretty surprising for you guys to see.
I always like to say, marry the house, date the rate. So
Love it.
you're gonna fall in love with the house, keep the house, get it at a great price with the market being down, and refinance your interest rate later on.
Refinance. Yeah. Well, we want to hear from you guys. Please drop a comment. If you know people that are not buying right now because of high interest rates, please tag them in this. Let us know. Reach out to us. We'd be happy to answer your questions. And don't forget to like and subscribe.